So, welcome to this revision tutorial looking at viral diseases and giving examples of diseases that are caused by viruses infecting organisms and then basically reproducing and damaging and destroying their cells from the inside out. So, first example of a viral disease that we're going to look at is one that's based in plants, and it's called TMV, which is an abbreviation for tobacco Mosaic virus. So this is found in plants. Now, when a plant becomes infected with TMV virus, it can come from a variety of different sources. It can come from the soil, as the pathogen can remain in the soil for many decades and then be absorbed by plants. It can come from animal and plant vectors. Be transmitted by organisms that come into contact with plants, such as trees, and it can also be transmitted by direct contact or spread between infected plant materials. So once that has occurred and that transmission has occurred, in respects to symptoms, it kind of comes in the name in the tobacco mosaic virus tells you that then the leaves become discolored in an almost mosaic-like pattern. And the reason for this being is that the virus has a big hand in destroying chlorophyll, which gives leaves their natural green colour. Now, if the chlorophyll has been destroyed, there's obviously less photosynthesis and less growth from plants that have TMV infections. There's obviously chlorophyll and chloroplast at the site of photosynthesis. Now, the main form of treatment is simply the removal of infected plants to prevent contact to other plants and between them. So the first example of viral disease there is tobacco mosaic virus in plants. Our second example is HIV. And HIV, which is the abbreviated name for human immunodeficiency virus. Human immunodeficiency virus. Now, the virus itself is primarily caused by sexual contact, but as well as that, it can also be transmitted by blood contact, direct contact between blood when, for example, drug users share needles. So, I mean, the use of, for example, the same syringe often, for example, if you're thinking about the use of drugs, the injection of heroin. So, it's a sexually transmitted disease, and that's also a second way of which it can be transmitted. Now, in respects to what it does, it produces flu-like symptoms. So it produces flu-like symptoms as a starting point, but then the virus itself can also have great worse effects. Because what happens is that the virus attacks the body's immune cells and damages the immune system. So these become attacked and damaged. And as a result of this damage to the immune system can cause and bring about AIDS. Now, AIDS is when the immune system is so damaged that it can't fight off infections such as cancer and also other such things as flu as well. So, the immune system fails and it can't fight infection. So that means a person who's got HIV and then subsequently AIDS is really susceptible, and it's incredibly dangerous for them to be infected with more common viruses and bacteria such as flu or colds and things like that than the average person, because their body can't fight it off. Now, in respects to treatment and prevention, there are different types of treatments and prevention. So there can be the use of antiretroviral drugs. So antiretroviral drugs are a treatment. And then in respects to prevention, if we're talking about prevention of transmission via drug users, there are obviously the use of clean needles, and there are charities that obviously promote the support of this amongst drug users to prevent the spread of HIV. And also there's, if we're talking about it in respects to its transmission via sex, barrier contraception methods such as the use of condoms help to prevent it as well. So, summary of HIV there, human immunodeficiency virus. Then there's one other example of a viral disease that we'd like to look at, and that is measles. Now, measles is primarily spread via the inhalation of droplets that are produced by infected people sneezing and coughing. So gets contained within droplets that are then spread by sneezing and coughing. Now, common symptoms include things such as fever, getting hot sweats and things like that. And as well as that, they can also include red skin rashes. and ultimately it can lead to death in some severe cases. Now, methods of prevention and treatment. So, in respects to prevention, there is obviously the ability to vaccinate, especially very young babies, young toddlers and children, against measles, for example, in the MMR vaccination. So vaccination is a prevention, and then a treatment. If you do get it, it can then be, symptoms can be alleviated by painkillers. So, 3 examples of viral diseases, their means of transmission, their symptoms, and also means of prevention and treatment as well. Measles, HIV, and tobacco mosaic virus.